status, Bill Hubble. I bought Lennox Mall for my brothers. Sold yard bag, tote the cutter. I got it out the field, fuck Russell. Going ass L'Oreal about the paddock, and going ass Jordan, ass dead. For leak water, trying to drown a bitch. Just a habit, tricking on a bitch. Shit, I'm thinking I'm cribbing a pimp. Shit, I'm cooking up dope like a dump. Shit, like her first gon' sit nigga trim. Shit, I'm floating them out in the blimp. Shit, it look like I'm swimming in glass. Shit, I turn on my bitch cause she bad. Shit, I'm making my ex nigga mad. Shit, they go for that number man. Real nigga learn them, wearing a bag. Piping a bitch and they nail like I can. Turn up the shooters with switches go bad. Stay with some scammers, but thousands of pain. Trapping no rapping, my dog ain't fall off. No capping, no bound.
Released body camera video shows how quickly police caught up with them. Like, I mean,
What it do, 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 what it do. I go by the name of BREE, represent that Self-Made Hustle TV, where the hustle has to be in you, not on you. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe.
Status, Bill Hubble. I bought Lennox Mall for my brothers. Sold yard bag, tote the cutter. I got it out the field, fuck Russell. Going ass L'Oreal about the paddock, and going ass Jordan, ass dead. For leak water, trying to drown a bitch. Just a habit, tricking on a bitch. Shit, I'm thinking I'm cribbing a pimp. Shit, I'm cooking up dope like a dump. Shit, like her first gon' sit nigga trim. Shit, I'm floating them out in the blimp. Shit, it look like I'm swimming in glass. Shit, I turn on my bitch cause she bad. Shit, I'm making my ex nigga mad. Shit, they go for that number man. Real nigga learn them, wearing a bag. Piping a bitch and they nail like I can. Turn up the shooters with switches go bad. Stay with some scammers, but thousands of pain. Trapping no rapping, my dog ain't fall off. No capping, no bound.
Oh, it's the wrong motherfucking thumbnail. Oh yeah, but we go. I gotta play a few jams and then we go get into it, man. We go get into it. Hold on, let me get this shit right real fast.
Paper on this bitch, but he ain't playing.
Kept my ties with my people, now my grandfather poppin'. Ran it up all by myself, though now they never gon' stop me. And I see they say I'm flopped up.
But make sure y'all hit the like button for me, man.
I know what I know. Oh, and I say, I count 50s, I'm at 100s, that's time flow. I say, stop me, no comparisons on that time. I say that, oh yeah, I cannot keep it on my mind. Now, oh yeah, they cannot seem to keep up now. I've been hiding from attention on the rise. I didn't respond and now they see me on the rise. I got some shit up in my head now. I'm on my shit and I'm not scared now. Slander my name, I ain't do shit to nobody. Relationship go to the one with the problem. She wanted space and she got it. Talking about babies, only got 3 children. I don't want no part and I swear I ain't kidding. Gave her my love, now she say she don't feel me. And I've been betrayed, it ain't no forgiving. Cause I'm riding a new mate back, yeah. Walk with a whole lot of bags, yeah. Told on a whole lot of straps, yeah. Push a nigga shit way back, yeah. Cold as a bitch, no cap, yeah. Fuck nigga play get splat, yeah. Fuck they say stay facts, yeah. Kill a whole world these racks, yeah. I feel alright, they say that I've been wrong my whole life. Thought there was life, but since it's not, I keep my soul tight. Cause I came from the bottom, can't make you forever be with somebody. To the day I'm not hurt, I'm mistake every time. I'ma blow out the brain when I feel that I got my ties with my people, not my grandfather pocket. Ran it up all by myself though, now they never gon' stop me. And I see they say I flop though. Yeah, in my head I know what I know. Oh, and I say I count 50s all in hundreds, that's that time flow, baby. I say stop me, no comparisons on that timeline, baby. And oh yeah, I cannot keep it off my mind. Now oh yeah, they cannot seem to keep up now. I've been hiding from attention on the rise. I didn't respond and now they see me on the rise. I got some shit up in my head now.
Oh my bad, man. They keep on doing this shit. I know why though.
I'm on my shit and I'm not scared now. Tryna do better, they know that I'm with it. I kill every nigga. I listen to critics. I see what they saying and I know I'm not tripping. How the fuck can you just put me in that position? They posting that shit tryna send me to prison. How the fuck do I post to take care of my children? I be flipping that money and stack to the ceiling. Why the fuck should I care and I know that I'm winning? Let a nigga come try me, it's gonna be a murder. How the fuck I'ma die with no snake in my serve? How the fuck he gon' do when this nigga a servant? He claim me a boss, but this nigga a word. If I nut in that bitch, it's gon' come cause I'm further. That's as far as they go, it won't go any further. Ride in the car on the back of the curb. If I beat it the fuck, man, I might as well go. Cause I'm riding a new mate back, yeah. Walk with a whole lot of racks, yeah. Told on a whole lot of straps, yeah. Push a nigga shit way back, yeah. White cold as a bitch, no cap, yeah. Fuck nigga play get smacked, yeah. Fuck they say stay facts, yeah. Kill a whole world these racks, yeah. I feel alright, they say that I've been wrong my whole life. Thought there was life, but since it's not, I keep my soul tight. Cause I came from the bottom, can't make you forever be with somebody. To the day I'm not hurt, I'm mistake every time. I'ma blow out the brain when I feel that I got them. I count 50s all in hundreds, that's that time flow, baby. I say stop me, no comparisons on that time now, baby. And oh yeah, I cannot keep it off my mind. Now oh yeah, they cannot seem to keep up now. I've been hiding from attention on the rise. I didn't respond and now they see me on the rise.
We got one more jam, man, and we're gonna get into it, man. One more jam.
Hard work pays off. Dreams come true. Bad times don't last, but bad guys do.
They don't want to see a nigga win. They don't know how far a nigga been. They want me sitting on the shelf like a pickled pig. Yeah, instead I wiggled in without the middlemen. And I got it all out the dirt like a hidden gem. I put on a little weight, it's time to hit the gym. Bank account like a candy jar, it's full of M&Ms. You can't see the bigger picture, need to clean your lens. My only brother died, please don't ever call me twin. We not any kin, I don't recognize you. We not from the same cloth, I'm a special fiber. I hate to have to bust a nigga bubble, but we shooting and I ain't no hooping gear inside my duffel. Got a chip on my shoulder big as a bag of ruffles, and I want all the smoke with the smoke in my puffer. The world ain't give me jack shit, I had to hustle. My only motivation was watching my folks suffer. I rose from out the gutter, some of us went down the drain. Even the scars that heal still hurt when it rained. Still having nightmares of 1207 James. Pip told me go and kill it, I can't let him die in vain. Gotta get us by, gotta see it through even with misty eyes. Suckers try and reel me in, I got bigger fish to fry. Lost so many people that I didn't get to kiss goodbye. It's hard to see each other's point of view, we on two different sides. Everyone's in need, but there's only one of me. And I gotta make sure I'm watering the money tree. Here's a lesson that I learned, suffering defeat. Everybody gonna stand by you when you on your feet. You won't find no helping hands when you on your knees. Cause when a nigga down and out, it's just something to see. They got their phones out, they wanna stand and watch. Your perseverance is the only true friend you got. They don't wanna see a nigga win. The way I ball, they should call me on ESPN. I'm in the league without ever putting a bucket in. I'm 5'8", baby, I can't even touch the rim, but I'm getting paid like a nigga jumping out the gym. Not quite John Morant, more like Vince Williams. Other words, I get the millions, but I'm too cold to be chilling, and I'm more than satisfied to be the villain. Long live pills.
God. Yo, man. Today is Thursday, man. Happy Thursday, man. So it's crazy, man. Like I was surfing the internet, and you know I be watching the battle raps and shit. I be watching that shit like a motherfucker. So I stumbled across. I heard somebody say the shit, but I hadn't really seen too much about it. Bro, y'all gotta listen to this right here, dog. Listen to this. Watch this. Just watch it. Let me share my screen with y'all real fast.
And thousands of opioid pills recovered.
So 4 men from California are now charged here in Butler County. And tonight, newly released body camera video shows how quickly police caught up with them. Our WLWT News 5's Karen Johnson, live in Westchester with a story you'll see only here on WLWT. Hi, Karen.
Well, good evening again, Sheree. Yes, among those arrested and now charged with drug possession, a California
Make sure y'all hit the like button,
known
man.
as Geechie Gotti. His real name is Marcus Fantroy, and police say he was driving down I-75 last week in Westchester when police made this stop.
The initial traffic stop on I-75 in Westchester was short-lived. The suspects weren't getting far.
It did hit sticks.
One exit south near the streets of Westchester. 4 men bailed.
Get down on the ground right now! Get down on the ground!
But police caught up.
I want to shoot you! Get your hands in here!
Westchester police arrested 4 men from California.
Why are y'all arresting me? Because your name's Anthony Ellis and you've been breaking into pharmacies all over the place.
And searched the rental car they were in.
We searched it thoroughly. There was a large amount of pharmaceuticals in the car that looked like they came just straight from the pharmacy.
Nearly 3,000 pain pills seized, including oxycodone, morphine, and Vicodin. Drugs that investigators say were stolen.
The drugs that were found were from a pharmacy called the Medicine Shop in Bellevue, Ohio. We believe that cash was found as well that was taken from a pharmacy in Perrysburg, Ohio.
Detectives say they had their eyes on the men since one of them landed at CVG last week. Tyrus Crew, Anthony Ellison, Laquan Miller, and Marcus Fantroy, also known as rapper Geechie Gotti, all now face drug possession charges.
We're looking at over $10,000 to $15,000 worth of pharmaceutical drugs, at least. That's what it is to the pharmacy. That's not what it's worth on the street. So we're talking lots and lots and lots of bills.
Detective Kevin Berger said in court today, these men, quote, do this quite often.
And tonight, WLWT Investigates is still digging into who these people are, if they are possibly facing charges elsewhere. Also, I should note, here in Butler County, Judge Courtney Caparella Kramer found there was enough evidence to bind this case over.
Crazy work, dog. Crazy work, man. Listen, man. They got this nigga, dog. Like, what the fuck was they thinking, dog? So y'all telling me, man, hey, listen. Maybe they was trying to get their hustle on, man. Maybe they was trying to get it in, man. Get their hustle on. I hope that this pill epidemic is not that bad to where these guys are just, they going out to try to steal them hoes. Like, I hope not, dog. I hope not, dog. Let me see what else I can find that we this crazy. They nigga, that bond is high as hell. But why would you, man? Listen, man. Then they said it was cash that they stole out that bitch too. Definitely it was cash that they stole out that bitch. This shit's crazy too, fool. I'm telling y'all. Let me see what else I can got. Okay, we're gonna go to this Rare People. Go to this video, the last one. Man, make sure y'all subscribe to Historic Events 36 and Rare People, man. Boy got that content, man. For real. Let me see something. Okay.
To subscribe to my other channel, Historical Event 36, so you don't miss out. On that channel, I'll be regularly uploading fascinating crime stories from Chicago, Texas, Los Angeles, and New Orleans, 2 videos at a time. These will include stories about GDs, BDs, Vice Lords, Black P-Stones, Bloods, Crips, and many other gang members in Chicago, LA, and Louisiana, covering projects like Calliope Project, Magnolia, Florida Project, Melpomene Project, and others. But hey, check it out.
Ain't no key in there? I probably gotta put that motherfucker in neutral. Well, I'll load, you know what I'm saying, both of them. We probably gotta put them in neutral, though. You know how to put it in neutral? Not from underneath. I'll show you. You gotta learn that anyway, huh?
Shit crazy, y'all.
What happened on 79th and May is nothing short of devastating. Auburn, Gresham, a neighborhood that many know as home, suddenly felt like a war.
So y'all tapping that like button for me, man.
Denzel straight out of Training Day. It was a Wednesday afternoon, ordinary in every sense, when a woman was sitting in a car with a baby in the back seat. And the
cold-blooded.
In broad daylight, a young mother's life was cut short by a barrage of gunfire. A man seated beside her was wounded, caught in the crossfire. The baby miraculously survived physically, but the emotional trauma of witnessing such violence will be lifelong. There's no other way to describe it.
God damn.
In a moment that should have been ordinary people, neighbors, passersby, families were confronted with extraordinary horror. The shots rang out, metal and glass shattered, and what should have been a routine afternoon became a scene of grief, shock, and chaos that left the entire community shaken. Auburn Gresham, a neighborhood already familiar with the scars of gun violence, felt the weight of this attack more than ever. One mother lost, one man injured, one infant forever changed, and a community forced to reckon with just how fragile safety can be, even in the middle of the day. It has been alleged that Gabby had been disrespecting the deceased prior to her death. Regardless of the circumstances, mocking the dead
That's
is
crazy.
something that needs to come to an end.
Yeah, that shit gotta stop. I don't do it. Cold lip. Damn.
Judy, there was a lot of gunfire at this scene. More than 50 shots were fired based on the number of evidence markers that we're seeing here on the ground. And we are told that there was a baby in the backseat of the victim's vehicle who fortunately was not hurt. The shooting happening around 1:30 this afternoon near 79th and May Street in the Auburn Gresham neighborhood. Police say a 26-year-old woman and a 27-year-old man were inside a white Chevy sedan when they were hit by gunfire. They then crashed their vehicle into a GMC van. Police say the female victim was shot multiple times and taken in critical condition to Little Company of Mary Hospital. And the male victim, police say, was shot in the buttocks and arm and is in good condition at Christ Hospital. The driver of that van they crashed into refused medical attention. Now, a short time ago, I spoke to the godfather of the woman who was shot, who confirms his goddaughter's infant girl, who is less than a year old, was in the back of the sedan.
And there's a baby in the car. These animals have no value on life. This is nothing to them. They need to clean this city up. They need to. This gangs and the shooting and the killing is just unbelievable.
The fire department confirms that baby was not hurt. Police say it's unclear what led to the gunfire, and they say no one is in custody at this time. Live in Auburn, Gresham, Eric Hong, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
One mother lost, one man injured, one infant forever changed, and a community forced to reckon with just how fragile safety can be, even in the middle of the day. This young woman, identified as Gabrielle "Gabby" Ayers, got caught up in something bigger than herself. She had been on the internet dissing the dead, and let's be real, that's never a good look. No matter what side you're on, speaking on people who can't speak back always brings heat. It stirs emotions. It reopens wounds. It fuels cycles that were already burning. People knew her as the First Lady of the Hawks. She had that title attached to her name, like the female face of the crew, the one who stood beside them publicly. Some people even joked about her being the CEO Haw First Lady, like she held some kind of official position. But a title and a real street role are two different things. And I'm telling you, I truly believe what happened was meant for her. There's a lot of talk going around saying it was meant for him, that he was the target. But when you look at the situation closely, it feels personal in a different way. It feels like someone wanted to hurt her to send a message, to get to Risky Band indirectly. Sometimes people can't reach who they really want, so they reach for someone close. They hit what's accessible. They hit what hurts. Gabrielle Ayers, just 26 years old, was struck multiple times when shooters opened fire on the vehicle she was sitting in. Emergency responders rushed her to Little Company of Mary Medical Center, fighting to save her life. But despite those efforts, she succumbed to her injuries. Her boyfriend, 27, was also shot, hit in the arm and buttocks, and transported to Advocate Christ Medical Center in Oak Lawn. He remains in stable condition. And in the back seat of that car was Gabrielle's baby. Somehow, through more than 50 rounds fired into that vehicle, that child was not physically harmed. Bullet holes tore through metal. Windows shattered. The car eventually crashed into a nearby SUV from the force and chaos of the attack.
Block from St. Sabina in the middle of 79th Street, leaving one person dead and a second in the hospital. Our Sabrina Franza is there for us. And Sabrina, there was a child in the car that was shot into, correct? Marie, the baby was in the back seat of this white car that you can see just here on 79th Street. It is right behind this larger vehicle that it later crashed into. After the shooting, 2 adults were in the car with that child when at least 3 people walked up and started firing. Incredibly, the baby was not physically hurt, but the entire incident was caught on video, and a CBS viewer sent that video to us. Here you can see at least 3 people run up to the white car with guns in hand. Now, we are not airing the audio in this video, though in it, you could hear at least 24 shots fired directly at that white car. After running away, the gunman got into a red Alfa Romeo and fired even more shots into this white car. And distraught tonight, saying that they were on their way from work when they saw the shooting. A man and a woman, both injured, with a baby they say was holding a lollipop in the back seat, crying. That viewer told us that the child was not injured, thankfully. Both adults taken to the hospital, and the male is expected to be okay. More video from the scene also shows the immediate police response. Officers have marked the many bullet casings on the ground as they try to find the person responsible, people responsible. Now, the other car that you can see here, as we mentioned, the driver of this car was not involved in the shooting, we're told, but also got out of the car and refused medical attention. Just an innocent person, it seems, caught in the middle of all of this. At last check, police have said that the female victim in this case is 26 years old, the male victim 27, and as we mentioned, the male victim is expected to be okay, and the child in this case was also, we're told, not injured. We're live in Auburn, Gresham. Sabrina Franza, CBS News, Chicago. Marie. Thanks for the update on that wild scene, Sabrina.
But survival is not. She wasn't really built like that. She wasn't some hardened street figure actively in the field. She wasn't out there calling shots or moving weight or putting in work. She was an everyday woman. She did hair. She lived a regular life outside of the affiliation. She wasn't a gangster in the trenches. She was just around people who were. And that matters. Because being around it and being of it are not the same thing. Her loyalty ran deep. Those were her people. So when someone dissed them online, she reacted. She defended them. She said what she felt needed to be said. Now, let me be clear. That doesn't make it right. Dissing the dead is foul. It's disrespectful. It adds fuel to a fire that's already out of control. She was wrong for that, no question. But context matters too. From what people are saying, she wasn't just randomly attacking someone. She was responding. Somebody had already dissed her people first. Somebody had already crossed that line. So in her mind, she probably felt like she was standing up for her side, like she was matching energy. Still, the streets don't care about who started it. Once you enter that arena, even verbally, you're in it. And that's the scary part. Because she wasn't living like a street soldier. She didn't move like someone who expected real-life consequences behind internet words. She was affiliated. Yes, she embraced the identity. But she wasn't outside like that. She wasn't conditioned for how ugly things can get when pride and grief mix together. Meanwhile, you've got Shorty Mob claiming responsibility, loud about it, posting, talking, self-snitching in broad daylight. The internet has turned into a scoreboard. Everybody wants credit. Everybody wants the last word. And in the process, the cycle just keeps spinning. Diss, retaliate, post about it, claim it, repeat, over and over. It's exhausting to even watch, let alone live through. Nobody steps back. Nobody says this ends here. It's just constant escalation. And social media amplifies everything. What used to be neighborhood tension now becomes public performance. Likes, shares, comments, all feeding into real-life consequences. And in the middle of all that noise, you've got someone who probably never imagined it would go that far. Someone who may have thought it was just words, just defending her people, just internet back and forth.
That's crazy.
But out here,
that's how y'all. That's what you
just
think.
Anything. When you tie your name to a group, when you speak on losses, when you engage in that kind of energy, you step into something deeper than tweets and captions. Even if you're not in the streets, the streets can still reach you. And that's what makes the whole situation heavy. It's not about glorifying anybody. It's not about excusing what she said. It's about understanding how quickly things spiral. She wasn't some mastermind. She wasn't orchestrating anything.
Let's go.
She was a regular woman who loved her people and reacted emotionally.
Let's go.
But emotions mixed with street politics, that's gasoline on fire. Now the narrative is split. Some say it was meant for him. Some say it was random. But from where I'm standing, it feels targeted. It feels intentional. It feels like someone wanted to send a message that would hurt deeper than just going after the obvious person. And now here we are. Another chapter in a story that never seems to end. People claiming it online. People arguing in comments. People taking sides. Meanwhile, lives are changed forever. And that's the real tragedy. Not the internet drama. Not the...
That's crazy, man. That's crazy how them boys ran up on that car. And I also ran into this. I don't know if it's true. I just got this off Truth Teller. Shout out to Truth Teller. I got this off of him, man. And it's crazy how, man, if this is true, these youngsters, they down bad. Yeah, they damn bad, man. These youngsters so on fire. That should be easy, dog. That should be easy work, bro. But you realize, bro, that shit is y'all youngsters, y'all gotta come on with that, bro. That shit is ill, man. Motherfuckers just don't respect the streets no more, man. They just don't respect the streets no more, fool. I swear they don't. But let me see where we can go. Where we gonna go? Well, let me see something real fast. You know, and that damn what's the name? Epstein tried that motherfucker heating up on their ass. Heating up, boy. This should be sick. Now, first, let me find it first. And this one we're gonna go first. What's his name, man? Damn, what the fuck is this nigga name, man? Back send me that shit, man. Okay, hold on. Y'all gonna have to use your ears for this one, man. I want to try to listen to this, man. Shout out to Max for sending me this, man. It's just the audio, man. Y'all gonna have to listen to this, man, because this shit right here is just so weird, man. I forgot to put y'all on to this shit right here. I'll put this disclaimer up because I don't want no problems, man. Corey, this is about Corey Holcomb. I want y'all to listen to the things that this guy says, man. It's wicked, dog. Wicked as hell, dog. And people still watch him. I don't watch him. I didn't even know he said shit like this.
Please keep this piece of tape for future references. I'm telling you now, when they go after me, they get dirt like a
Corey Holcomb's career might be over after these new allegations. They are accusing Corey Holcomb of being a PDF, and the receipts are going mega viral and gaining a lot of steam. It feels like the more these receipts go viral, Corey Holcomb's career might be over, bro. The ending may be near. And the worst part about it all, this damage is self-inflicted. They're just using Corey's own admissions against him. I don't know what Corey was thinking coming on the podcast and admitting to certain things he admitted to, but now the world is watching.
When I was in Iceland, you don't have to be no 18. I think it was 13, maybe 14. That's a grunt. The vagina been on this planet 14 years. I've said this before on the show also. Do you know if a woman 16 years old gives you a baby, that is going to be 16, 17, 18, 19. That is going to be one of the healthiest babies possible.
First red flag was Corey Holcomb knowing the age of consent in various countries. Any man,
how do you know that?
Even
shit?
having access to that information makes me feel icky.
How do you even know that?
60-year-old, that's nasty, bro. Second red flag was him saying, "I've said this before." So this is an opinion that he has really thought about, sat with, and dissected, and he still didn't see anything wrong with him saying this.
Right. Well, at that age, they've been on the planet long enough. They're in their prime developmental wise to create a life.
Corey has talked about this at length before, so every word he says is intentional. But he says they are in their prime to conceive. You don't have to ask Corey, who are they conceiving with? Who are they having a baby with? Only grown men are in a position to take care of a family and lead a household. So this is him advocating for them to have babies with grown men. But what are we doing here, man?
But you're taught in America something different.
Those eggs are buoyant. You could dribble them eggs. They got bounce back.
Craig Smith is almost 50. Corey Holcomb is almost 60. And they're sitting on a podcast talking about how 14-year-olds have bounced back. Yo, come on, bro.
What the fuck are we?
Yo, that's absurd.
Sizing up kids.
Now, to make things worse, Corey Holcomb went on another podcast and he admitted to testing out the young women in Iceland. Now, the same young women that he claims, were 13, 14 and ready to conceive.
You go to other countries, I'm just saying, in America, most people only know what they know in America, but I've been to other countries, and in Iceland, I think the legal age to get with a girl is 13 years old.
Oh, my God.
Right, it blows people's mind when they hear it. But in Iceland, R. Kelly is not a criminal.
He's trying to get extradited.
He's a normal guy in Iceland. I went to Iceland, and you just can't offer him money and gifts. And I thought that was so unfair that you couldn't give him nothing after you was done with him.
This dude crazy. I'm not going to Iceland. So I assume you've been to Iceland and you took advantage of the laws. Is that what you're saying?
I had a great time in Iceland.
Wait, we're not going to go there. We're not going to go there.
The age of consent in Iceland is 13. Did you take advantage of the laws in Iceland? Man, I had a great time in Iceland. You just can't give them gifts afterwards. After you're done with them. You can't give them gifts because that will count as trafficking. So he full on admitted that he did what he did in Iceland. Oh, yeah. Full on admitted to it. Now, a lot of people point to, Corey Holcomb is joking. He's making a joke. But at one point, you teetered the line so much that we got to say, I don't know, bro. I don't know, son. Even how Corey Holcomb talk about young women is disturbing. There was a story on the Corey Holcomb podcast he told about, I think, like a 5-year-old.
Oh, fuck.
Right? And this story makes me uncomfortable to this day.
This past weekend, I saw this little girl. She had a Welch's grape juice bottle in her mouth. And she was about 5. She had the whole bottle as far as it'll go, just sucking on it, walking with her mama. Somebody said, get that out her mouth. When they took it out her mouth, that baby said,
this nigga is a hoe ass nigga. He's a hoe.
You know when she stopped crying? When a man picked her up and put her in her lap and started bouncing with her. Then she stopped crying and was looking like
that nigga a hoe.
I say, that's a hoe.
He a hoe ass nigga, fool.
That's a little growing right there. And everybody will say, Corey, what are you talking about? Corey, you crazy. Good, get the out of here. This little girl was in her bliss with her mouth wide open. She was just, it had the cap on it and everything. They took it out of her mouth. Then a man picked her up and started shaking her on his knee, and she was like,
This nigga is a
I
mark.
said, that's a little, it's just Corey Holcomb crazy. I almost want to go back and ask about that little girl and do a documentary on her life. So one day I can show I know what I'm talking about. But in this society, I'm a bad guy.
Seeing a child suck on their bottle and your mind go to fellatio, you are a disturbed human being. Seeing a child get rocked back and forth to comfort and your mind goes to bedroom positions, you are a disturbed human being. Calling a child a hoe for doing things that kids do is disturbing. You are a disturbed human being. This is not normal.
Not normal.
That ain't nothing no little girl do unless she has the urge to do things like that. She has the urge to be satisfied. But ain't nobody gonna pick the Corey bad. Corey bad. Everybody, Corey, did you hear what Corey said? The little girl took the bottle out of her mouth and he said she gonna be a yes. And if it was more men in the house, the little daughters wouldn't be walking around with things preparing their jaw for hustle. Her jaw is being prepared for hustle. And this was a little girl.
Her teeth aren't.
Baby Goobler. I like that.
A grown woman is next to Corey Holcomb participating in this. She's participating. She says, oh, her teeth not preparing her for fellation. What? A baby teething makes you think about If you think this is the worst of it,
this nigga is sick.
It gets worse.
Me for real. One day I was living with this lady and her daughters crawled in the bed and I ain't have on shit.
Yeah. Listen to this nigga.
I was up under the cover.
Wow.
And I was like, oh shit. And one of her daughters was like,
rest in peace.
Her daughter was she was in high school. I think she was 15. Still not legal. You just can't tell your true thoughts.
What true thoughts can you not say about your 15-year-old step? What true thoughts are in your head about your 15-year-old stepdaughter that you can't say? And also, if you were naked under the covers, why did you allow her to crawl up under the covers? Well, wouldn't hey, yo, wait, we about to put on clothes, chill. Wouldn't that have sufficed? But Corey Holcomb, when he tells the story, it becomes perfectly clear that he thought there was a possibility or he thought like she wanted him or something. Like she kept on sending him signs.
Her daughter was going to be thick like her mama. I know that much.
Yeah.
I knew her daughter was a bust down. She got pregnant like a year after I moved out. She was 16. I knew she was going to get pregnant, goddamn, because she used to do shit. She used to do shit to let me know, damn, this is trying to get me in trouble.
Oh.
Her name was Tiffany. Right. All of you kids.
Yeah, she has a documentary.
Pussy, that's the best I'm saying.
See, you heard. Run that back and hair from his mouth again.
Right. All of you kids.
Yeah, she has a documentary.
Kid pussy, that's the best I'm saying.
There are some sick dudes out there who will probably excuse this as jokes. Ain't nothing funny about saying a kid woohoo is the best woohoo out here. A kid woohoo is better than an adult woohoo. Because one, how would you know? If you're not somebody who engage in, how would you know if you don't engage with children? But it's all jokes, right?
You gotta watch your kids. I'm supposed to type real bad.
Jesus Christ.
Can you get charged if you spoon a child?
I mean,
get behind him, make him take all his clothes off, and you hug him like that.
I'm
Is that a
pretty
charge?
sure. Yes, Graham.
What is
pretty
that?
Sure.
Not no penetration. Just
doesn't have to be penetration. It's so you can't
That's
be
love.
You can. Okay. Hold
What
on.
if it's a stepchild?
Okay, I don't know where we're going with this, but
I'm just asking. They got these charges. I'm trying to see what the charges gonna be.
The wedding ring.
Somebody called me Corey Kelly because I said spoon.
Oh, good one.
I would never.
Or Corey Epstein.
Spoon a child. I'm asking what happens if you do it. It's called research.
Who mind goes there? Who mind goes to, yo, bro, how much time would I get if I just spoon instead of like the full thing? Like if I just spoon, do I get a couple years off my sentence? Why are you thinking about this, bro?
Please keep this piece of tape for future references.
I'm telling you now, when they go after me, they get dirt like a I'm here to tell you, if they go through my computer, they're going to be like, Corey, like, what else can I put out there?
Snacks.
I mean, I'm a big in the child. I'm going to check my browser, goddamn. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That woman is like at a point in her life where she is. It's just nobody likes to say shit like that in America because you can get in trouble for that. Now, I don't want no woman that's 16, 17, 18 because of the laws and because of the mental state she's in. Epstein Island, that'd be a great movie. Yeah. What was happening on Epstein Island?
Children. That would be a horrible
So you
movie.
telling me?
Oh my God, they weren't children. They were.
What the
There you go. Now you don't.
What do you mean? I said no, and I said
you wouldn't watch it if it was a movie. It ain't real.
I ain't watching
nothing that got to do with no children. Fucking what the
Asking you would you watch it? No.
And no. There you go.
You won't watch
it.
That's ridiculous. He knows what he's doing.
I know he knows. I know he knows. Yeah, I know he knows what he's doing.
Corey asked his co-host what he thought was a stumping question, what he thought was a question that was difficult. And that question was, man, what went on Epstein Island? You mean to tell me that if they put out a movie of kids getting effed, you wouldn't watch it? No. No. That's not a hard... No. But in Corey's head, that was like a hard question, as if like that was something enticing. No, it's not enticing.
Corey, wish my baby happy 16th birthday. Hell, she ain't yours, so this is easy. She turning sweet 16 Saturday. Hey, what's up? Make sure, hey, look, I don't know her name. Isabella. What is her name? Dita 605? Dita 605? Listen, I want to wish your daughter a happy birthday. Her sweet 16. It's a beautiful age. And you make sure you and your daughter have counseling so that if she's broke, cat daddies like me ain't in that age by the time she's 21 through 30. Because if you don't bring them up right, I'm going to be with them on their birthday. I was at the mall with the little broke man. We was
It's enough of that shit. We gonna go into something else. Enough of that whole ass nigga. That nigga Mark. This nigga is a Mark, fool. Straight up Mark saying shit like that. Dog, how do you say shit like that? It is supposed to be cool. Like, man, this nigga gotta be smoking dog food or something, fool. Let's see. Hold on. I'm gonna jump into some of this Epstein shit, man. You know what I'm saying?
A few days ago, the Department of Justice added to their massive Epstein files dump, which is now sitting at something like 3.5 million documents in total. And ever since the most recent release on the 30th of January, I've been digging through to see what I could find. There is still so much to dig through, and new revelations are constantly coming out from people sifting through the data. Just to give you an example of just how much material was released, this recent dump consisted of 4 data sets, which were numbered 9 through 12. Several of the data sets are hundreds of gigabytes in size, and that's with them being compressed into zip files. With all that being said, I'd like to share everything that I have uncovered over these last few days. Just as a warning, a lot of what you're about to see and hear is extremely disturbing, and yeah, just brace yourself. This is one of the most disturbing aspects of the new release, but it gets a bit muddy as what we're about to talk about is clearly a collection of anonymous tips and complaints sent to the FBI, typically via phone calls. One of these complaints, which can be found in Dataset 10, was received on July 4th, 2016, through a report to the FBI's public access line. The call was made by an attorney representing an anonymous Jane Doe to report, quote, the sexual exploitation and rape of a minor child of 13 years of age by Donald J. Trump and Jeffrey E. Epstein. Maher stated that his client, Jane Doe, was enticed to cross state lines to visit with Epstein and Trump to perform sexual acts on both adult men at special parties hosted by Epstein. Doe was told that this was to further her modeling career and something that she had to do. During the summer of 1994, after her 7th grade school year ended, Doe took a 3-day bus trip from her father's home in the Midwest under the pretense that she would be visiting her grandmother. Doe traveled instead to New York City in order to start a modeling career. Doe was initially turned down and asked to return with a portfolio at a later time. While waiting for her bus home, Doe was approached by Redacted and was urged to return to attend a party hosted by Epstein so that Doe could meet important people in that field of work who could help her break into a modeling career. Doe was also told that she would be paid for attending the party. Redacted mailed Doe a buddy pass plane ticket to fly her back to New York. Doe attended 4 of these parties and was paid around $500 for her attendance. Redacted instructed Doe to use the name Redacted at these parties. The complaint then goes into such a graphic description of SA that I can't even read it here verbatim on YouTube. The complaint ends with the following. Doe was then threatened with violence by both men to not make any report of what happened. Quote, "We'll make you disappear like Redacted." It's not clear exactly who this young girl was or if this report progressed beyond the initial complaint. Again, I'm obligated to say that this simply is a record of a complaint made over the phone. Nothing regarding the complaint has been proven definitively, and little to no other information surrounding this phone call is available to the public. Something that I feel the need to mention here as well is the fact that the FBI sits within the executive branch of the United States government, meaning they are directly held accountable to the president. Based on the fact that this was reported to the FBI just months before Trump entered office in January 2017, there's a clear conflict of interest here. Of course, the same goes for the actual release of the files occurring right now, with Trump back in office for his 2nd term. If he really is implicated, well, that means he's the boss of the entire department entrusted with uncovering those crimes. Of course, this one report is just one of many, many reports like this in the files. At this point, I decided to search for more of these FBI complaint forms in the files, and I found this one in Dataset 9. Unfortunately, it's almost entirely redacted. Oh well, surely the FBI had good reason to redact the entire thing. Probably protecting victims' privacy and all, right? Since that's literally the only legal reason they can redact these files. According to the text of the Epstein Files Transparency Act, the U.S. Department of Justice may only withhold or redact information for a very narrow set of legally permitted reasons, most prominently to protect victims' personally identifiable information. They are barred from withholding or redacting information for any other reason. With that in mind, let's move on to the next complaint form that I found. Wait a minute. Are you telling me they redacted the exact same file 2 different ways? Well, they actually did it 3 different ways, because while digging through, I found yet another copy of the same exact document with even less redactions. Let's read this version and see what's inside to try and figure out why they redacted that first one. Complainant stated that she is a professional artist and took pictures of her sisters, 12 and 16 years old, for her own personal artwork.
That's crazy.
Epstein stole the photos and negatives and is believed to have sold the pictures to potential buyers. Epstein at one time requested redacted to take pictures of young girls at swimming pools. Epstein is now threatening redacted that if she tells anyone about the photos, he will burn her house down. This document is super disturbing to me for several reasons. The first reason is the fact that nearly the entire document was originally redacted by the Department of Justice, even though no sensitive, identifiable information is present, at least not from what I can see. And this is a really big deal because this kind of thing, where multiple copies of documents are found with varying levels of redactions, can be seen all over this latest release of the Epstein files. It's important because it means information is being withheld and blacked out for essentially no reason. These instances where there's duplicate copies we can view directly are where we've gotten lucky, where we can prove that they removed important allegations, testimonies, and other information that might be necessary to painting the full picture. We might never know what information was pulled or blacked out that we'll never get to see. Take this document, for example. Yeah, it's literally just a bunch of black pages. What's in here? Is it another complaint form with damning testimony against elites or those in power? Did the Department of Justice decide to save their own asses by fully redacting a page incriminating their boss? We have no way of knowing, but because of instances like this, we know that they are absolutely redacting important information that they legally have no right to redact. But there's even more important revelations to be made in regard to this document. Notice the date this was filed. September 3rd, 1996. That is fucking insane. Are you telling me the FBI has been receiving tips against Jeffrey Epstein since 1996 with a damning account of him stealing and selling CP before threatening the photographer with arson, and we're only just finding out about all these very specific details surrounding his crimes?
This shit is horrible, man.
As I'm sure some of you familiar with the Epstein saga have already put together, the photographer involved in this case is Maria Farmer, and she is in fact known as the very first person to file a criminal complaint to law enforcement in regard to Jeffrey Epstein in 1996. Her story is well known and has been well known for some time. We've known for a while that she, at one point, had a lockbox containing her personal nude and semi-nude photographs, as well as the negatives of her younger sisters, which were taken as anatomical studies for graduate art class. This lockbox had been pried open and had its contents stolen by Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell while she was working with them, but more on that later. However, from what I've put together, this release from a few days ago is the first time the public has seen the official complaint to the FBI from when the incident originally happened. With this in mind, and with her speaking out against Epstein and his associates so publicly for years, it's hard to see why they would black out her entire testimony in that first document. It's just plain sloppy, and sloppiness cannot be tolerated with one of the most important criminal cases in American history. Anyways, here's another complaint form, one that's honestly even more disturbing than the others we've just discussed. For context, this was filed by a man named Edward Aragon, the host of an Albuquerque radio talk show known as The Rock of Talk. He went to the FBI after receiving a disturbing anonymous email regarding Jeffrey Epstein's Zorro Ranch on November 21st, 2019. Zorro Ranch was Jeffrey's massive 10,000-acre private estate in New Mexico. It featured a large mansion and other facilities where he hosted guests and obviously brought the girls. It has been repeatedly identified by victims and investigators as a key location in Epstein's shady activities. I suppose I should read the email which he received first before getting to the complaint he filed with the FBI. The email reads, quote, Edward, this is sensitive, so it will be the first and last email depending on your discretion. You can choose to take it or trash it, but this comes from a person that has been there and seen it all as a former staff at the Zorro. The material below was taken from Jeffrey Epstein's home as my insurance in case of future litigation with Epstein. Sorry, no questions. What is defaming about Jeffrey Epstein is yet to be written. Did you know that somewhere in the hills outside the Zorro, 2 foreign girls were buried on orders of Jeffrey and Madam G? Both died by strangulation during rough fetish sex. Here are the video footage of Jeffrey Epstein. They then list the 7 disturbing videos he is offering to Edward Aragon. These appear to be fairly long videos, ranging from 7 minutes all the way up to 27 minutes long, obviously containing horrifying evidence of Epstein's evil activities. It seems that he was simply listing the different files here and didn't actually include the files in the email. Please arrange for 1 Bitcoin by 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time today, Thursday, 11/22/19, to the following Bitcoin wallet address. The USB will be sent anonymously to your attention by overnight carrier upon receipt of the funds. You have my assurance this is exclusive, never shared before. No attorneys, no samples, no questions, please. Confirm ASAP. After receiving this email, Edward immediately decided to take it to the FBI. Upon contact, the following report was made. On 11/25/2019, Edward Aragon, personal information redacted, came to the Albuquerque office of the FBI to report an email he received offering 7 videos of sexual abuse and the location of 2 foreign girls buried on Zorro Ranch. On 11/21/2019, Aragon received an email from redacted@protonmail.com regarding 7 videos of SA by Jeffrey Epstein and the location of 2 foreign girls buried on Zorro Ranch for sale for 1 Bitcoin. The email had a valid wallet for the funds. The email had a deadline of 11/22/2019. The author states that the information was insurance against future litigation against Epstein. Aragon believes the email could be valid since he uses his full first name and thinks he is a listener to his radio show. Aragon owns a radio show, Rock of Talk, where he has conducted his own extensive investigation into the Epstein Ranch and has obtained significant information about it. Aragon has been published in other news outlets regarding his investigation. Aragon also consulted other members of the media regarding the email. The consensus was that it may be real and that he should report it. However, again, this is all surrounding a single anonymous email from a potential listener of his radio show. The fact that the show broadcasts to the Albuquerque area from which the Zorro Ranch is just an hour's drive away into the surrounding desert, might mean the person who emailed him truly was local to the area, worked on the ranch, heard his show, and decided to share the information he had been sitting on. Unfortunately, little other information is available. Aragon did not send the Bitcoin, and as a result, nothing came of the situation. The final anonymous complaint I'm going to be covering in this section is another one that has been heavily circulating online recently, but for good reason. This is likely the most disturbing collection of anonymous complaints in the files, and it was one of several that were taken down from the DOJ's Epstein repository. They have claimed that this was due to technical overload, redaction errors, or privacy concerns, but I really don't buy that. At least not for this specific example. Given the wild accusations that the following file contains against Trump, I wouldn't be surprised if the DOJ was trying to save themselves by taking it down without anyone noticing. It was swiftly put back in its place on their website, I assume upon realizing that the damage was already done. Anyways, let's just get into the file. The first section reads, Redacted reported an unidentified female friend who was forced to perform oral sex on President Trump approximately 35 years ago in New Jersey. The friend told Alexis that she was approximately 13 or 14 years old when this occurred, and the friend allegedly bit President Trump while performing oral sex. The friend was allegedly hit in the face after she laughed about biting President Trump. The friend said she was also abused by Epstein. We then move on to the next complaint. At age 16, while modeling, caller attended 8 parties at Epstein's New York residence. On one occasion, caller reported she was sexually assaulted by Epstein. On another occasion, 2 twin brothers, Alan and Orrin, lured caller and her friend upstairs, but they escaped back downstairs. Caller stated Orrin raped her best friend, and a third brother, Tall, raped a 14-year-old girl named Redacted. Caller named other individuals involved in, quote, big orgy parties with her, other young girls, and older Victoria's Secret models, including Bill Clinton and Donald Trump. Complainant reported she was a victim and witness to a trafficking ring at the Trump golf course in Rancho Palos Verdes, California, between 1995 through 1996. Complainant reported Ghislaine Maxwell as the madam and broker for parties, clients of whom included Epstein, Robin Leach, and Donald Trump. Complainant reported participating in orgies that some girls went missing, rumored to have been murdered and buried at the facility. Complainant reported being threatened by Trump's then head of security that if she ever talked of what went on there or who she saw, she would, quote, end up as fertilizer for the back 9 holes like the other cuts. Complainant claims to have video of high-profile parties, dealings with cartels, and having witnessed Robin Leach strangle a young girl to death at a party. This next one appears to have come from someone who spoke directly with the victim. Quote, the victim reportedly knew about criminal activity that occurred in multiple states and on airplanes, and told complainant there were films of prominent men such as Epstein, Bill Clinton, and Donald Trump, and that Ghislaine Maxwell is in the videos as well. Just across the files we've already gone through so far in the video, we've now heard multiple claims of there being actual video evidence out there of these horrific crimes. Videos that might actually finally prove beyond a shadow of a doubt exactly who was at these parties and what horrific, dare I say, satanic things they did there. Something that distresses me, however, is the idea that, well, with the rise of AI video, how could we ever really prove any of these videos are real? I mean, even if the public is pretty sure that they're real, couldn't the rise of AI lead to issues when trying to actually prosecute or hold these people accountable? Is photo and video evidence no longer enough to prove these people are guilty? This is terrifying to think about because we are desperately in need of some damning, irrefutable evidence like this so we can actually go after these elite pedophiles. So far, it's looking less and less likely that we'll ever actually see any of these videos reach the light of day. But even if they did, could these politicians and billionaires just hide behind the AI defense? I hope not. Regardless, it pisses me off that the FBI seemingly had an endless array of opportunities to obtain these incriminating videos, yet apparently never got their hands on any of them. Not after raiding each of Epstein's homes, not after receiving innumerable complaints from victims, all accusing the same people of doing the same horrific things to them. I find that very hard to believe. It's blatantly obvious that there is absolutely a massive cover-up going on. Granted, we have received a lot of new photos and videos in these releases, which we will be getting into in a moment, but conveniently, only enough to incriminate Epstein himself, who took all of the accountability with him when he took himself out in that jail cell. To me, it's pretty clear that he seems to have been chosen as the scapegoat for this whole operation, with the FBI's story indicating that there were no clients, there were no parties on the island, he just hoarded all the girls for himself, and now he's dead, so it's all over, case closed. Literally nobody is buying that, and especially not now after the DOJ was forced to dump these files. Not after we've looked at this mountain of complaints and tips from victims, identifying the same powerful people, all involved in the same criminal activities. Of course, the couple that we've touched on so far have barely scratched the surface of what's actually sitting in this dump. In fact, just within this one document, it only gets worse as we scroll down. Complainant following up after a call with NYPD officer regarding her previous tip, reporting that she was forced to perform sex acts when she was 13 years old and pregnant in 1984. Complainant also reported there were high-profile individuals involved in her sex trafficking and the murder and disposal of her newborn daughter. Complainant reported Donald Trump participated regularly in paying money to force her to perform sex acts with him and alleged Trump was present when her uncle murdered her newborn child. Again, I'm obligated to note that these are all anonymous tips and claims. Most of them, according to the column on the right, appear to have been unverified, which means none of these can really be used as proof in, say, court. They seem to have largely just been anonymous phone calls to the FBI, and because the email chain this chart was included in was made in August of 2025, much of the Epstein-Trump information was obviously already a very hot topic and widely publicized. Unfortunately, it seems that the majority of the claimants in this document could not be contacted by the FBI following their initial tips, and as a result, they remain unverified. There have been allegations for some time now that Jeffrey Epstein had a secret child, or even a multitude of secret children that were never revealed to the public. There's actually a lot of evidence to support this, though there's a near total lack of information regarding who these children actually are or where they ended up. Something that isn't talked about nearly enough in the public discussions of Epstein is his obsession with genetics and human enhancement. He appears to have been fascinated by eugenics and the process by which he could create superior offspring. In the early 2000s, he confided to prominent scientists like Marvin Minsky, Steven Pinker, and Martin Nowak about his plan to impregnate up to 20 women at a time on Zorro Ranch, and about his fascination with genetic engineering and artificial insemination, fertility tech, and selective reproduction. These facts specifically are nothing new. It's been reported on for many years now. He also founded the Southern Trust Company in the U.S. Virgin Islands in 2012, which pivoted to DNA mining and genetic analysis, surprisingly amassing $200 million in revenue.
This shit is sick, dog. It is sick, dog. Like, I just can't believe this shit, dog, right here.
With this context in mind, I want to point you to the following PDF found within dataset 12. The document is a scanned copy of some kind of coded scrapbook, apparently written by a victim of Epstein. If the account told within this book is true, I don't know. I really don't even know what to say. If it is, this thing goes so much deeper and splits off into so many different directions than any of us could have ever imagined. The code is pretty easy to crack. You just have to read the top letter, then the letter beneath it, before going back up to the top line and doing the same in a sort of up and down zigzag pattern. The DOJ also figured this out very quickly and translated it back into plain text for easier reading. Here's what it says. Close your eyes, close your eyes, close your eyes. Don't speak, she doesn't talk. I can't stop shaking and it's been a week. A decision was made, but I can't tell Jeffrey. These things happen. Why didn't I close my eyes fast enough? The doctor was different again. I think from Israel. He had kind eyes, but didn't speak directly to me. This was different. A shot and those rod-like things had a hook and so much pain. Ghislaine said to push all the pain away. I don't understand. Blood and water all over the bed, and she was right. Like a feeling when your tummy hurts and you have to push. She said to close my eyes and put her hands over my eyes, but I didn't close them because of these tiny cries. I am so lost. I saw between her fingers this tiny head and body in the doctor's hands. It reached its tiny arm up and had a tiny foot. I closed my eyes and no more cries. I don't understand. Just say these things happen. But he doesn't believe that. They yelled and screamed, and he said it would be the same in a couple of months, and she said she was fed up with it all. I don't understand what's going on, and no one will tell me. I can't go to school like this. I can't stop shaking. Why won't anyone make it stop? I know Ghislaine is trying, but nothing changes. Why didn't I close my eyes? The next page contains a mix of magazine clippings and handwriting, which read, A Short Life, Tragedy, My Heart is Breaking, along with, I Know I Am Breaking. Beneath this, a page from a book containing a poem titled Stillborn, of which the girl crossed out the word still. Beneath this, more coded handwriting. In the hall, Ghislaine said she was beautiful. She was, not is. She was a beautiful girl. I heard her. Where is she? Why did she stop whimpering? She was born. I heard the tiny cries. I can't do this anymore. He was right. A couple of months and 2 pink lines with a hold on being with others until after it was positive. I want to die. Why didn't she protect me? As long as I am wearing what you want, there is no respect for me as a human. I am nothing but your property and incubator. You only trust me when I am under your complete control. I will never trust another man ever. I am the only one who provides and sacrifices everything. I give and give out of terror, and you take all of me. You need me to continue, keeping us all connected. We then continue to the next page, which starts off mostly with several clippings. Our finance department deals with all the paperwork. Unfortunately, the finance department is also family. Who knew? I was born a slave. Life in a parallel universe. Unlike drugs, a woman's body can be sold over and over. The slaves in Lake Placid were invisible. People were playing golf at the retirement community, and right behind them was a slave camp. One U.S. shelter has rescued 10,000 child prostitutes. We then go to the handwritten code on the page, which reads as follows. This is not surprising, but there is no such thing as a child prostitute. They are children and cannot consent. They are missing the biggest in my own backyard and so many more. like Mar-a-Lago and where I see Mr. Joe and Mrs. Ann. The following page contains a dictionary definition for the word release, as well as a clipping from a 2003 National Geographic article on slaves in the 21st century, with a small handwritten section in the bottom right reading, "Please release me from this torture and hell." Controlled all by Jeffrey, all the time. Get away from it all. And go to New Mexico? What in the hell? This makes no sense. What about school? Behind the scenes, he is now controlling everything when it used to be Ghislaine who some days acts like she hates me. Secrets of all of them. I am tired of keeping this secret. I know people are wondering, but I can't tell. I am exhausted. Broken promises. I don't understand why she is treating me on some days like I'm the enemy, but then we lay in bed together and she is how she used to be. Warm. He makes her feel my tummy and it's so sad and confusing. Superior gene pool? Why me? It makes no sense. Why my hair color and eye color? That feels very Nazi-like, but in thinking about these stupid, insane theories he has, I guess in his mind it makes sense. The piano and music comments are made to convince me this is right and will create perfect offspring, he calls them. I don't think it works that way, and it's making me hate playing altogether. Piano or viola, I am starting to resent them both. I miss the person I was before I was made into what feels as a human incubator. My friend Redacted realized much of everything and came to get me out of Mary's. She made me leave all things of value on the bed. She put all my belongings in trash bags. I have maybe avoided New Mexico. I have been staying with friends, but never more than 2 or 3 nights because my mother is on the warpath. Redacted have been great, but Redacted saw me changing and knows about the baby. He said he promises to help me and we will figure out what to do. Next, there's an odd page with a red splattered pattern all over it. My heart belonged to her. She was so very beautiful. She was perfect. I can't bring myself to write what happened. I am beyond broken. I only got 10 to 15 minutes to hold and feed her before they took her. She is mine. I want her back. Distraught. Help me, please. Can't anyone find me? Barely survived all those procedures. My heart is gone. April 22nd, I had no choice. I wasn't ready, and she wasn't ready. My mother had found me, and it was urgent. After so many bonding moments with Jeffrey, Ghislaine, their baby inside me, with me in the middle, she wouldn't even look at me. We said nothing to one another, and I was so confused. When we arrived at Palm Beach, I was taken to a house close to Jeffrey's, I think called Ocean Boulevard or Street. But it was close, and I was alone, except for a new driver, not Mr. Wan. An elderly French lady whose pictures on the wall didn't have her. She had a thick accent and was kind. She said she had been born to deliver babies and had been doing so before I was born. Similar as the last one with shot and hook, but too much blood with so much water and unbearable pain. She put her hands inside of me and seemed worried. I didn't understand. Something about the baby facing the wrong way and putting pressure on a placenta. Things would have to be different. She said I had to be brave and strong and listen to her directions so she could help safely get the baby out. I was terrified seeing so much blood on the bed and floor and started to panic. She had me flip over to my hands and knees and had me push and push, and it was so excruciating. I could feel everything as she tried to guide the baby out, but I was so tired. I felt I was dying, but suddenly, she had caught a beautiful baby girl who made more than a whimper, but beautiful cries. She let me hold her and washed her and brought her back clean and perfect. She smelled so good and showed me how to feed her. but only after maybe 15 minutes, Mrs. M came to take her. I was hysterical and begging for more time. He said those horrible girls were in the car waiting, but I wouldn't let her go. The old woman promised me she would be safe, and I had to let go. 4 pounds, 10 ounces, 18.5 inches long, with beautiful long fingers. I am dead inside. Life has no meaning. I don't want to be here. 6 weeks wasn't even given before being sent back. Punishment for trying to run. Why can no one help me? Ghislaine is gone. I am so lost, and my heart is broken. Is this my destiny? I need them, everyone, all to see. I still always dream to build a better world. She went from being a beautiful young girl to a sad, broken child, but maybe a hope that after it all, I still truly had it within herself. One day, I aspire to be like this. She came in like a lamb and went out like a lioness. The final page of the scrapbook shows a little girl with her back to the camera carrying a sunflower. Of course, these files don't come with much context. We're just handed the raw documents they collected during their probes into